Alex McCarthy has been on the Wembley bench 4 times without ever getting on the pitch, for Reading, England and current club Southampton, twice. Sunday's FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea should be 5th time lucky as he bids to become only the 3rd English goalkeeper to win the famous trophy this century. McCarthy has played the last 18 games for Southampton, conceded only 1 goal in 4 FA Cup ties and was part of Crystal Palace's team when they upset Chelsea 2-1 in the league at Stamford Bridge in 2015. Part of the plan was to wind up Diego Costa because he had such a short fuse, he recalls. There was an altercation between him and Damien Delaney and Costa lost his head straight away. The tactic is unlikely to work against the more placid Olivier Giroud, who came off the bench last weekend to score twice in Chelsea's 3-2 win at St Mary's. Southampton had led 2-0 before folding, but McCarthy saw enough to be encouraged. We dominated the game for 70 minutes. I felt comfortable because we moved the ball well and created chances. But we conceded the first goal. We sat back and tried to soak pressure rather than pressing high. It didn't work for us and we'll make sure we don't do that on Sunday. If we can cut out the little mistakes and have an inner belief, we will give ourselves a good chance. Marcos Alonso, who set up Giroud's first goal, will miss the rematch after being found guilty of violent conduct for a challenge on Shane Long. It's obviously a big advantage for us, says McCarthy. I like Alonso as a player. He is a good defender and has that delivery going forward. I didn't see his challenge at the time. It was only watching a clip afterwards I realized how bad it was. McCarthy has waited a long time to be center stage in a big Wembley showpiece. There is no thought in his mind it can distract from Southampton's relegation fight with the team currently in the bottom 3. Tipped for the top. McCarthy played 3 times for England under-21s with Jordan Henderson and Danny Welbeck before his progress was slowed by injuries. His relationship with Wembley has been particularly frustrating. He was on the bench when Reading lost their 2012 Championship playoff final against Swansea and again the following year as England drew with the Republic of Ireland. At Southampton, he watched Fraser Forster play in last season's League Cup final against Manchester United and against Spurs this season, but replaced him for a 0-0 draw at Old Trafford on December 30 and has been an ever-present since, including FA Cup wins against Watford, West Brom and Wigan. In an unusually turbulent season at St Mary's, with Mark Hughes replacing Mauricio Pellegrino as manager and new Chinese owners coming in, the big mystery is why they have done so well in the Cup but haven't won in 8 league games. It's hard to put your finger on it, admits McCarthy. People might think it's to do with pressure but personally I don't think so. The league hasn't gone as well as we'd want, but beating Chelsea will give us a massive lift for the last 4 league games of the season, and mean we have a cup final to look forward to as well. If we can stay up and reach a final, that's an unbelievable season. McCarthy's parents were Chelsea fans who took him to the Shed End at Stamford Bridge to see Gianfranco Zola, Gus Point and his goalkeeping hero, Petr Cech. He remembers watching on TV when Roberto Di Matteo scored the quickest FA Cup final goal in history against Middlesbrough, whose goalie Ben Roberts later became his coach at Yeovil. The 28-year-old is aware that English goalkeepers winning major trophies has become a rarity. Only David James, Portsmouth 2008, and Joe Hart, Man City 2011, have won the FA Cup since 2000. Playing out from the back has become a real big part of the game. Managers want a sweeper keeper like Ederson or David De Gea, and maybe foreign keepers have played that way from a younger age, he says. It's down to English goalkeepers to meet the challenge. I know from our training at Southampton, under former England coach Dave Watson, that distribution has become a massive part of our work in the last few years. Southampton always sold top players. Adam Lallana, Dejan Lovren, Luke Shaw, Theo Walcott, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Sadio Mane and Morgan Schneiderlin have left in recent years. But it's the £75 million exit of Virgil van Dijk in January which seems to have hit them hardest. Virg is a massive character. He led the line here and had a big presence about him, says McCarthy, who has had to work with the new-look central defence. Being vocal is part of what I have to do, to keep everyone on their toes and switched on. I do it on the training ground and in matches. I find that shouting keeps me focused as well. There is still quality in the Saints squad. Ryan Bertrand is an England World Cup contender while Cedric Soar won Euro 2016 winner with Portugal. He's always talking about playing with Ronaldo, the lads hammer him for that, says McCarthy. It's just a pity Saints don't have a striker on their books with the caliber of Hughes, whose illustrious playing career included a spell on the South Coast where he's still remembered for his blistering volleys. I am just waiting for the gaffer to join in shooting practice and smash in a few, says McCarthy, who warmed up for Sunday by keeping a clean sheet at Leicester on Thursday. Before this year, McCarthy had only won 1 FA Cup tie, back in 2011. Now he's at Wembley, about to influence a cup semi-final rather than being stuck in the dugout.